So in the previous video, we saw that how Swagger can make the API documentation automate for you. So the people bugging you, like asking for the request and response, you can throw this API documentation in their face and tell them that I'll be making changes over here. So you come over here and check what is the request, what is the response, what is the description and everything in this Swagger over here. Okay, so this is the one-time setup that we have to do for any kind of application that we are making. So we'll be seeing that how we can make the setup over here. Okay, first let me show you like what we'll be making at the end of this tutorial. So as you can see over here, this Swagger is telling that there is a one API slash students underscore API which has a 4 method over here: get, push, put and delete. Put and delete. Okay, so in the get we get all the data from the database, as you can see over here. In the post we can create the new data. Let's for example create some new data, and role, I don't know, 2021. Okay, I don't know. And as you can see, the data has been created. It has already told us that this will be the response. You can see that how smart this Swagger documentation is. It is already told that this will be the response that we'll be getting, and we're getting the exact kind of a response over here, which is ID integer field, name string field, role string field over here. Okay, so in the put we can update the data. We'll be seeing the demo in the later part. Currently I'm showing like what is the thing that we'll be developing at the end, but in the delete we only need the ID, and the response will be getting message the data has been deleted. Okay, this is the thing that we're going to create. So watch the video till the end. Okay, subscribe to the channel if you are new, because we bring such new kind of one because we bring such new kind of tutorial for you, so that it makes your life easier and cut other people's mouth. Okay, so let's get back to the tutorial, understand how we can implement this Swagger. So let's get to the IDE. So we are back to our favorite IDE, Visual Studio Code over here. As you can recall from some previous video that we have made some API. This is a function based API view. Okay, so we have made this get method, post method, delete method, but we don't have the record or how this API will work over here. So let me walk you through some of the serializers that we have made already. This is student model serializer. We are using name and role field over here. This is the model that we are using, ID, name and role over here. Okay, this is I'm walking through because for some new people who are starting to watch from here will be same with on our track. Okay, so this is the function based API. So this is a normal setup over here with having a normal student model and some of the CRUD operation over here. So let's start by installing the library which will help us to develop the Swagger over here. So I'll show you the library that we'll be using. This is the drf_yag library which we'll be using over here. So let's install this first. So we'll follow the instruction that they give us. So let's install it. We'll come over here, we'll install. As you can see, it is telling required already satisfied because I have already installed earlier. Okay, so now what we'll be doing, we'll be coming over here, putting in the installed app. So let's copy this from here. We'll be going in the setting file. We'll be putting it in the installed application. Then they're telling to set up this, to go into the url.py file in the project part, not in the application part, in the project part. Okay, so this is the drf_project. In the setting we have gone, we will be going to URL. Okay, we'll be copying this from here, this whole part. Then we'll be coming back to here. Now we need to make some installations, like import, not installation, sorry. We'll be importing this thing. Now you can make some changes. So for that, let's say techsunami API. I want my license, techsunami license, no one else license. Okay, and now we'll be needing the Swagger. This is the old one, so I'll be giving you the new one. You can use that. Okay, so let me bring that. Oh yeah, this is the one. So write this one, because the one that you see in the documentation is for the old Django REST framework. Okay, this is the Swagger. This is the one of the endpoint where we'll be getting all the APIs over here. This is the code that they have been given. Okay, only this is the by default thing that we have to do over here. So let's start the application. There you can see some part. I'm starting the application. Now I'll be going over here. Let's refresh it. As you can see, the API documentation has already been created, but there are some problems with this. as you can see in the post method, we don't have any request, we don't have any response. We need to say this is the request and response. Okay, in the get method it will work properly, because if we try it out, execute, as you can see it's working properly fine. But post, put, delete won't work because there is no request and response over here. We need to tell the Swagger this is the request and response, and how we can do that I'll show you in a bit. So we'll be going in the view file over here. Over here all the magics happen. Okay, so I'll show you how we can write over here. So for that, first we need to make some import. We need to, okay, so import that will go in the documentation part. We'll be importing 1 minute. So we'll be importing from drf underscore yasg dot utils import or Swagger auto schema. Okay, and we'll be writing this code. Just copy the paste code with me. I'll be walking you through like how does the code work. So this is the one of the decorator that we'll be using over here. This decorator tells that there are two methods, post and put, for which I want same request and response. What is the request and response? This is the main part over here. So we are not doing any kind of a manual request and response over here. The request and response is getting generated automatically. It gets generated from the serializer that we have already created. As you can see, the serializer that we created over here has the name and role field over here. So it does Swagger automatically map with the serializer that we are using, and it gets generated over here. So we have shown here, tell the Swagger that this is the serializer which we have to use for the request. The same serializer you have to use for the response part over here. So Swagger is that smart that it understands the response. I'll be getting ID, so it maps the ID with it. So if I go now over here and do the refresh part, so as we can see, the name over here already been changed, because this is the name that we have provided, operation ID, technical post and put. As you can see, the request has been come, name, role, and description also come. How did the description come? For the description part, I have already written that in the serializer part, the main thing over here. So whenever you want to give some kind of a description in the serializer, you have to just write help underscore text. So the Swagger will map with this help underscore text, and this it will display whatever is written over here. Okay, so I have, let me change this thing. I will write this is name field, and if I go over here and refresh it, yeah, it has been refreshed. And if I see over here, this is the name field. Okay, so whatever kind of a description you want to tell the front end people, you can write it over here. Okay, same goes with the role field, and it is told that and the Swagger is told that it will be containing ID, name, and role as a response part over here. Okay, the same has been done with the put part over here. So but for the delete, we have to write it differently, because delete will only require ID, that which data I want to delete. So for that, there is no kind of such kind of a serializer. So for that, we need to create one kind of a serializer, normal serializer. For that class, we'll create delete serializer. It will be normal serializer dot serializer, and it will have only one field, ID equal to serializer dot integer field. That's it. This is the normal serializer that we'll be creating. We'll be importing this serializer in our function based API view. Okay, over here only. And for the one more Swagger auto schema, we have to create for only the delete part. So we'll be creating the delete entry over here. You can write small or uppercase, it doesn't matter. I'm writing uppercase over here, and over here we have to use the delete serializer. And one more thing, I will also show you that how you can write the manual work also over here. Okay, so over here we'll write techsunami delete API. So now we'll go back to the Swagger part and do the refresh. As you can see, the name has been changed and the request and response has been changed. But as you recall that what kind of a response we get, I'll show you. First, let's write one of the ID. Let's get one of the ID. So let's do the try it out. What are their IDs? 4, 13, and 31. So let's delete 4 ID. As you can see, the response that we get is the message your data has been deleted. But the current response is like a normal serializer that we created right now. So to write the custom message over here, we can use the manual work also over here. So how we can do that over here? There are two different ways in which we can do. So one of the ways of using the serializer, normal serializer. So I'll show you that I can go again over here and create one more serializer. Delete response serializer. It will have message, it will be char field, and the help underscore text will be your, we'll copy the same one. What is the there? Data has been deleted. Okay, so now if we go over here and do the refresh, as you can see, we have not imported over there. So let's import this. Let's come over here, import this serializer and add the serializer over here. And let's do the refresh again. And as you can see, we are getting the same message, and the data has been deleted. We got the same response. And there is one more way in which we can do this thing by using the normal manual work kind of over. We'll come over here and just copy paste this thing that I'm writing. Where it is? Yeah, the response 200. Now we'll come back to the, and we'll replace the response part with this. So I'll walk you through. Don't worry at all. I know this is a gibberish kind of work I've written. Let me import Open API first. Yeah. So what this thing is telling, that in the response, okay, I want one kind of a schema. Okay, I want one kind of schema. So we write Open API.schema. So what will be the type of the schema? It can be list, it can be array, it can be anything. So over here we are telling that this is an object kind of a schema. So it will be a kind of an array. Okay. In the array, I want properties. Different kind of properties means what kind of a what kind of a field I want. So that field we specify in the property part over here. So it is telling that I want property of message. Okay, it will have a description of this, and it will be a type of a string over here. Okay, so let's save it and check it, is it working properly or not. We'll refresh it. As you can see, it has been changed. So there are different way in which you can do this thing, but I would always prefer that you make a serializer for that and paste it over here, because this is kind of a more kind of a work over here which you have to do for the less part. So we'll always prefer using this. We'll delete this all part and replace it with the response serializer. There is some kind of error, so I'll do this part. Okay, so we'll go back over here again and do the refresh, and as you can see, everything is working properly. Okay, so this was the normal, sweet and simple tutorial for the Swagger part. I have done very overlay over here. So if you want to learn in detail, I would highly recommend you to go in the documentation part over here and understand that how this thing work. Okay, if you have any kind of a question that how does this work or anything, you can always reach me out. I'll be giving my LinkedIn ID over there. You can follow me on Instagram. I am Instagram page also. Okay, we are also creating, there is also a community tab over here. You can join the community where we share, where we solve all the doubt any kind of a people have over there. Okay, so please share this video with the people who are struggling with the API documentation and everything. Subscribe to the channel to understand, to learn the new concept I always come up with. Okay, please press the like button. So we'll meet in the next video. Till then, take care.